Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about some newly shown third-party figures from Toys Era. We have the Tank and the Ock, or of course better known Dr. Octopus and the Juggernaut from Deadpool 2. So this is a company that I've been following. I've watched and have been interested in the products that they've come out with before. I have never actually purchased one though, but they just kind of did two figures that really caught my attention, and I've purchased them, and I kind of wanted to talk about them, even though I'm a little late to talking about them. But nonetheless, I still wanted to go over my thoughts before I even get them and get the reviews out too. So this video I'm going to be covering both of them just because they were shown a while ago, so no need to do two separate videos. But these, particularly the Dr. Octopus, that's the one that really caught my attention. When that was shown, I was quite blown away. I thought it looked awesome, and I just, at this point, never expected to get kind of a Hot Toys scaled Dr. Octopus that looks really good. And this, although it's a third-party unlicensed figure, it looks very good. So I am very excited for it, and in my excitement for the Dr. Octopus, I kind of stumbled upon Juggernaut that I didn't really know that they've done before, and then that got my attention to him. So let's go over them one at a time. I'm going to start off with Doc Ock here. This is obviously Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi trilogy from 2004. Looking really nice. With a third-party company, obviously, it's not as good as Hot Toys, of course. And face sculpt-wise, you know, it's okay. It's recognizable. I see where they're coming from with it, but it's not fantastic. I would expect better quality if Hot Toys were to make it. However, for this company, I do think that it looks pretty decent. I think that with the goggles on it, it helps even more. Although I think that the eyes are probably the best portion of it, so it's a bit of a shame to cover them up. But nonetheless, I think that overall, the face sculpt's okay. Certainly not great, but it's okay. As far as what he comes with, so you get the version of him with the long trench coat, kind of open shirt, and as you can see, you've got the tentacles and the waistband that connects them to him. This is kind of his look when he goes to confront Peter Parker and throws the taxi into the restaurant. I think that, you know, because this scene follows very closely that, I think that this is what he wears during the train fight as well, which is very cool. So overall, looking quite good. I think the only thing that I would be a little hesitant about when it comes to this third-party company is their costumes, especially very tight-fitting costumes that are intricate. I would be worried just because, you know, that's something that's very hard to do, and Hot Toys, you know, I know that they can do it well, but other companies, it's a little bit iffy. They just did a Joker figure recently from, you know, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and it looks okay. I don't think that the suit, though, isn't fitted that well, so I would be worried about that. However, with this figure, he's got a very just wide, long, you know, trench coat. It's not something that has to be fitted perfectly or anything like that, so overall, it looks good. I'm not concerned, which is nice. You get a pair of goggles, you get a selection of hands, a standard base in the style of Hot Toys' bases, which I kind of like, to be honest, and then 4 money bags, which I think is cool, obviously, to reflect the scene where he goes and robs the bank. So I think that he does come with a decent amount of stuff. What I would have really needed him to come with, like, this is like a must, so I'm kind of disappointed, are sunglasses. You know, the goggles are nice, but I like the sunglasses. He wears those for a good portion of the film, so it's disappointing that he doesn't come with them. I'm sure there's some company that makes sunglasses, or even a Hot Toy sunglass that looks pretty similar to it, though, that I'm sure would work. But it's just a shame that he doesn't include it. The arms, that's the real seller for this item, though, are the mechanical, you know, tentacle arms, which look very nice. I think that they did a great job sculpting these. They look like they have really tremendous articulation, to be honest, as well. As you can see, within each of the actual pincher pieces, you have a hinge here and a hinge here, so they're all hinged at 2 places. And then the tentacles themselves, what it looks like, and obviously we'll have to wait until we get in person to know for sure, but it looks like every third little piece is a ball joint, which is really nice, and that, you know, allows you to get really natural looks with these. That's why you can have them bent rounded and have them look so natural is because there's quite a lot of articulation, which is awesome. Now, my only concern is the integrity of the joints. With so many pieces of articulation and such a long limb, they need to be very strong to be able to support poses. Like this pose here, if they're able to support themselves like this, that's very impressive. However, Toys Era did release a photo of it in person, like an in-person photo. It was actually a video on their Instagram. And in that video, it looks like they have the tentacles wrapped up in string, so it looks like strings used to help support them. So that concerns me. I'll be interested to see the actual, how strong these joints are, if they can really support kind of the more extreme poses. So it'll be interesting to see. Nonetheless, though, I do think that they look great. Just from a visual standpoint, they're pretty perfect. And then as far as the price... Let's move over to Doc Ock. Here we go. He is up for pre-order now. You can get it from multiple sites. As far as I'm aware, Toys Era doesn't have like an official distributor, which is like the site to get them at, similar to Sideshow for Hot Toys. So the site that I've pre-ordered mine from are Giant Toy. This is a site that was recommended to me by Toys 210. So he's bought a product from it, and although shipping took a while, it obviously came. So I feel confident buying from them, even though I never have before. But they're retailing it at $206, which for Hot Toys is a great price. If Hot Toys made this figure, it would be well over $300. However, it's on the higher end of Toys Era prices, to be honest. What's funny is the two figures that I've really been drawn to are the ones that are on the higher end of Toys Era's actual normal prices. Now his estimated release is for Q4 of this year, so between October and December, which I definitely like. Not like Hot Toys where it goes on pre-order and you have to wait 2 years. For them, it went on pre-order and you had to wait 3 to 4 months. Not bad at all. Actually, to be honest, if it comes out on the early side of those estimates, you could only have to wait 2 months, which is great. So very happy I have pre-ordered this one again. Definitely worth it. Now transitioning over to Juggernaut, or the tank. This is the figure that, because I was so into the Ock, I started doing some more research on Toys Era and found the Juggernaut figure. I think that I have seen some photos of it before, like a while back, but they were just the kind of pre-order pictures. And the pre-order pictures for this guy are terrible because they're basically like renders of what he's going to look like. And it doesn't do him justice. I was never much of a fan, which is why I probably saw him a while ago and just kind of grazed past him. They almost just looks like something somebody put together as like a digital custom type thing. But we have in-person images of it, so I pulled together some of the in-person images because I think that's the best representation for it. And let's go over it. So this thing is awesome. Juggernaut is a Marvel villain that I really enjoy. His appearance in Deadpool 2 is so surprising and really fun, and the figure looks quite incredible. Obviously, with Deadpool 2, there's very limited merchandise. Just now, Hasbro is starting to release some Marvel Legends for it. Hot Toys has made Deadpool in the past, and they just now released a Cable, but there's not much else when it comes to the 6-scale line. Toys Era, however, has been making figures. You can see them at the right. They've made that Colossus and Cable, and now they've made Juggernaut as well. And Juggernaut looks very intense. The helmet and the piece around it, kind of the neck piece, look great on the actual figure himself. The sculpting and detail looks fantastic. It looks Hot Toys level to me, to be honest. I think that it, from what I've seen in reviews I've watched and pictures, it looks fantastic. I can't say anything wrong about it. Even the face sculpt underneath looks really good as well. Obviously, it's much easier to do this face sculpt than Dr. Octopus, as they've got to do a full human face sculpt. While this one, they just kind of have to do some face pieces, and there's not a whole lot to match up to, so it's rather easy to do. But nonetheless, they've done a good job on it. The proportions in him, I think, look really good. They seem to be completely accurate to the movie. The one thing that I had an issue with, and I've seen some people comment on, is that he might be too big, too out of scale, because he's so large, which I was concerned at first. However, I'd much rather him be too big than too small. But doing some research and finding this picture at the bottom here, which is from a deleted scene, I think this shows the scale to the best. And it looks perfect, to be honest. As you can see with the kid next to him, he comes up just to his waist. And if you take a look at the far right picture, Deadpool's in front of him. Deadpool goes just over over his waist. However, Deadpool is on a thin base, and he's an adult. He is taller than the kid. So I think that that's like a perfect scale. So I'm very happy with this. But he's huge. This is a huge figure. The picture on the kind of towards the left there with the Hulkbuster behind him, the person who posted that said that he's about 2 inches shorter than Hulkbuster. And the Hulkbuster is one of the biggest Hot Toys figures they've ever done. It might be the biggest just standard kind of standing Hot Toys, to be honest. So that's incredibly impressive. This thing is massive. Now, what's annoying is, or what really bothered me at first, is once I saw this thing, I started doing research on it. I started to really want it, and I had no way of buying it. Just about every single place I looked at was sold out. There was one place that still had it. They had it on the more expensive side, though, and then I went to check out to see what the shipping would be, and they wanted $75 or $77 for shipping, which was crazy. So I decided not to get it, and I kind of just went, well, there's nothing I can do. But luckily, the site that I bought Dr. Octopus from, they got it back in stock over a pre-order, and I'm very excited because not only is it a site that I would have preferred to buy it from, it's also a site that offers free shipping, and it was $50 less than the other site that I was considering it at. So I'm very happy. This was $250. I think that that's an incredibly reasonable price. Obviously, when it comes to the design of the figure's costume, it's a rather simple costume. It's just a jumpsuit. The head sculpt has intricate detail, and then the fact that you can remove the sleeves and the arms seem to have intricate detail. So there's some detail, like some serious detail in those pieces, but the rest of it is just kind of a very standard costume. However, the size of this guy is huge. If Hot Toys were to do this figure, it would be... if it's almost as tall as Hulkbuster, it would be, I'd say $500 to $600. So this is an incredible savings, to be honest. I think that this is a great price, to be completely honest. The only negative that I've seen about it is that he doesn't have any torso articulation, so that's a little disappointing. But other than that, he seems to be very well articulated. I'm also very happy that they've gone with showing the elbow joint instead of doing rubber. You get more range of movement that way, and then you don't have to worry about it deteriorating either. And then this is kind of like a second batch, basically. What they wrote in the description here, or you can see it here, is because of the popularity of the product, Toei has announced kind of a back order for the item, so they're basically making a little bit more because this one has been so popular. And the estimated release is October, so that's coming up here quite shortly, which is nice. So I'm very excited. Again, I've pre-ordered both the Tank / Juggernaut and the Ock / Doc Ock. So overall, this is some great looking figures, I have to say. I think that they look really cool. I'm a big Marvel villains fan, so I'm totally willing to add them to the collection. And I've dipped my toe into kind of third-party 1/6 scale villain figures before. I do have the third-party Caecilius, and that was a great figure. I was very happy with it, so I guess that makes me a little more comfortable with these. But I'm very much looking forward to both of these figures. I think that they're going to be great, and I'm very excited to see what else Toys Era has to offer. If they're going to kind of delve in a little bit more to the Raimi trilogy, it'll be very cool to see a Sandman or especially Green Goblin from them. But there you go, that's my thoughts on the new Toys Era figures coming out of Dr. Octopus and Juggernaut. Let me know what you guys think of them, and thanks so much for watching.